What's up, spectators? Welcome back to another episode of Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Last time we began the new case, where it seems like Kay, who has amnesia, was pushed off of the Grand Tower. But, well, we haven't really proven that exactly. She doesn't remember much. But also, they found a dead body in this building, and the detective, or not the detective, the police officer said the body was identified as Kay. And we just got here, and we gotta see what's going on. Shimona, who's the body? This room is... Will this room happen to be... Yes, sir. It's the Prosecutorial Investigation Committee's meeting room. What? It's here? I'd heard they recently moved out of the prosecutor's building. But to think that they moved here of all places. Okay. Mr. Edgeworth, Kay. Oh, who's this? Oh, God. It's like an onion on her head. What brings you here? How are you holding up? We're in the middle of an investigation right now. Sorry, but who might this be? Ah, this is my granny. Let me just... Hi there, Sonny. The name's Bonnie Young. Who the heck are you? She says. It is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecutor. Miss Jensen, isn't Young the name of... Granny is the director of the Die Young Hospital. This old lady is the director? Who are you calling old? She says. She can read my thoughts? So that Granny is pretty important, huh? Haha, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, yes she is. Ah, these people are the patient's guardians. You know, the one with amnesia. It seems she's a bit of an introvert. Hey, Sonny, want me to cure that bad case of the frownies for you? She says. I'm afraid that's an incurable disease for Mr. Edgeworth, pal. Really, Granny? You want me to say that? I ain't got nothing to say to you, whippersnappers. You're free to do whatever you want. But you better not get in the way of my autopsy. Please wait, we're... No means no. Hey, you don't have the right to decide that, pal. What the hell was that? Sorry, Granny is the coroner, you see. And she's in charge of this case, so I'm very sorry, but that's the way it is. What do you mean that's the way it is, pal? Well, even if you ask me, I'm not the one who said it. I kind of feel like I'm watching a comedy act, sir. Well, we need to get back to the autopsy, so please excuse us, and take care. What was with her attitude? We received permission to investigate. There shouldn't be any problems. The attitude of hers is a huge problem, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, what do we do now? We'll investigate the scene, of course. As a prosecutor, I cannot stand by and do nothing. Well then, let's begin. But the policeman said the dead person is also named Kay. Then I'm pretty sure I'm not the Kay that you know, Mr. Edgeworth. We shall investigate that now, but don't worry. There's no question that you are the Kay I know. Okay. An amnesiac Kay and a corpse Kay. Both are connected to the Grand Tower. I'm certain that this case will lead me to Kay's lost memories. Let's go to the body. It's half of a large round table with 11 chairs. It seems to be based off of a certain legend. I know that one, sir. It's the famous Knights of the Brown Table. Yeah, close enough. Huh? Was I wrong? Knights of the Clown Table? Knights who say ni? For a second I said nil, but it's most definitely Monty Python ni. Knights who say ni! He's getting colder, but I won't say anything. Maybe I can't look at the body. I'm sorry, right now Granny's in the middle of the autopsy, so... Are you studies trying to get in the way of my autopsy? Is what she says. Could you please wait just a little bit longer? Yes, I suppose we have no choice. We'll come back to investigate the body later. This is Lady Justice. You sure do know a lot, sir. So what kind of powers does she have? She's a symbol of justice, not a superhero. It said the scales represent justice, the sword, power, and the blindfold, equality. Actually, the sword isn't in all depictions of Lady Justice. I think that's in maybe a couple in Europe and the United States, but I think generally she has just the scales. I think the blindfold is also universal in all depictions of Lady Justice. Really cool though, huge fan. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. A pool of blood lies at the feet of the goddess statue. Judging from the pool of blood, it seems that this was where the victim was killed. But sir, the body's over there. Ace Detective! After murdering the victim, did the killer move the body? What else is there? This is a really huge statue. Why is it in a place like this? She is known as the Goddess of Justice. You might call it a statue for judging prosecutors. It seems this statue was also made by Pierre. Oh, you mean the victim of the IS-7 incident, Isaac Dover. Setting aside his background and personality, he really was a brilliant sculptor. Well, they do say that artists are either geniuses or weirdos. Well, they're not mutually exclusive. I suppose Theory would fall into the latter category. Bum 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 bum. There's rows and rows of books. This solemn atmosphere is kind of scary, sir. Scary? I would think that books foster a feeling of familiarity. Actually, I once got in a lot of trouble for running through the library at full speed, sir. But this isn't a library, so a light jog should be fine, right? If I don't make sure to stop him, he might actually do it. If things had gone as planned, I would have been standing here right about now. Yeah, sir. I'm glad that the PIC meeting was delayed, but the cause of the delay was due to a murder. It's troubling to think that the PIC meeting could condemn my career as a prosecutor. In any case, my top priority right now is to find the truth behind this case. Can I help with something? I like this. Something about this music reminds me of something I'd hear in like Final Fantasy. Notice anything? This is an amazing room. There are large boxes filled with books, a stone sculpture, and sparkly windows. It seems you have also forgotten the names of objects. This might be helpful for recovering your memories. Just repeat after me. Bookcase. Broken safe. Stained glass. Stolen goods. Books on the law. Crooks on the lamb. Statue of the goddess. Snatched loot of the great thief. Not even close! Are all her mistakes biased towards a certain way? Okay, until just a few days ago, you were calling yourself my assistant. Looking at me, is there anything you remember? Things I remember, huh? Well, yes, just one thing. Mr. Edgeworth, on the viewing platform above us. Oh? You pointed at me and... Yes? With a really scary face, you interrogated me. That happened just a few minutes ago. Oh, poor Kay. The terror of Mr. Edgeworth badgering you for contradictions is your only memory. It must be scary, pal. Hopeless! The end of the world, pal! I should show this detective what true terror really is. Okay, before you lost your memories, you got along well with Gumshoe. Does looking at B help you remember anything, pal? Do I remember anything? I know. For a while now, Mr. Edgeworth has been getting on your case. That's not a memory, it's just a pleasant part of my daily life. Isn't that right, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, so Detective Gumshoe thinks it's pleasant? It seems I'll have to get on his case even more from now on. Bit of a masochist, eh? Maybe I did not finish with the exam in here. I think it would have stopped me, right? But there's only 2 things. Oh, okay, so I did finish. Good, all right, back out. Why don't we try swinging by here? Oh, wait, let's talk to the cop. You there, tell me the situation about the security of this room. Tell me the sitch in the sec. Yes, sir, to enter this room, a special keycard's required. In other words, not just anyone can enter this room. So the person who found the body was also? Yes, it was a member of the PIC who had come here for today's hearing. Member of the PIC? If not for this case, right now I'd be... Excuse me. It's probably... Oh, hey! You are... Oh yes, what is it? That voice! It's Von Karma, right? Do you know her, Granny? Good to see you again, Doctor. And you as well, Miles Edgeworth. What is she doing here? Franziska Von Karma. She's a prosecutor working with Interpol, and the daughter of Manfred Von Karma. She should be jetting around the world right now. Wherever there is a case, I will follow. National borders mean nothing before me. Your presence here must mean that this case has international significance. You know well enough that I'm chasing a smuggling ring. I shall recover all the stolen goods and crush that organization. Then, does that mean that the smuggling ring is also involved in this particular case? Any further information is confidential. I'm not obligated to speak of it with you. So, it won't be that easy. Mrs. Franziska Von Karma? Granny says... The autopsy's complete. You're free to do what you want. In that case, we would like to investigate as well. I've heard rumors about you. No way am I letting you near that body. You're that prosecutor who's about to get the boot. You best run on home now, sonny. Just so you know, I wasn't the one who said that, okay? Please, Granny, we need to investigate, no matter what. Hey, lassie, who you calling Granny? I'm sorry? We're not getting anywhere. I guess I have no other choice. Franziska, please allow us to aid you in your investigation. We must examine that body in order to find out what happened to Kay. To Kay Faraday? I'm asking you too, sir. Kay's in really bad shape. I don't know what's going on. But fine, I'll grant you permission. You have my thanks. Of course, I didn't say it would come without a price. You will explain everything to me later. We really owe you one, sir. I wasn't talking to you, Scruffy. Yo! So that's how it is. If you would be so kind as to authorize them too, Doctor. I suppose it's fine if he's with the prosecutor from Interpol. Is what she says. And I fully agree with Granny. By the Von Karma name, the entire world will be judged. That's just common knowledge. That's rather conceited for common knowledge. Well, it's none of my beeswax anymore. Is what she says. I hope you don't get in trouble for this. You needn't worry. My reputation will not be shaken by something so petty. Unlike me, who's on the verge of losing his badge. Alright, let's check it out. Bad. Who is this? I mean, it looks... I don't know. It's not Kay, sir. It doesn't look like her at all. Of course it isn't. Kay's alive after all. Her age is, I'd guess, around 30, and she's wearing a pantsuit. Maybe she worked in one of the offices in this building. So her identity is still unknown. The question now becomes, why did the police believe her name was Kay? Well, if you look at that little piece of paper on the top, it kind of looks like it says K, right? Well, at least I can make out K and A, so... This notebook. Isn't that Kay's promise notebook? This is the notebook she wrote all her promises to her father in. It really takes me back, sir. Yes. Never take things from a stranger, never go anywhere with a stranger. When Kay was young, she and her father wrote the promises they made in this notebook. However, why is it in a place like this? Now that you mention it, I once heard something from Detective Bat a long time ago. It seems that before anyone had noticed, Kay's memento had gone missing. What? So a piece of evidence that was in police custody went missing? Detective Bad frantically searched all over for it, but it seems he never found it. What could this mean? Why was the missing notebook found here? You there, do you happen to know anything about this notebook? The victim was carrying this notebook when we found her. That was the only evidence we had to identify the body. So that's why you called her Kay. What a misleading victim, huh? Why'd she have Kay's notebook? I sure would like to have some information on the victim's identity, though. Let's try looking at her face. There's some blood on her head. Maybe she was hit with something. We don't know that for sure. Our investigation will ultimately clear that up. Well, yeah, she was hit by the candelabra right there. Could this be the murder weapon, sir? A 3-pronged candelabra. It's consistent with the number of stab wounds. Oh, in the chest! I didn't even see that! It looks like a trident, or like a shark bite. She was probably stabbed by the prongs of the candelabra. A candy zebra? I'm afraid it's not quite what you're imagining, Detective. A candelabra is a candlestick holder with multiple arms. Ah, so it's a candle holder. You know, one time I forgot to pay my electric bill. I had to get by only with candles. What time period are you from? Okay. There doesn't seem to be anything in this pocket. This pocket has holes in it, sir. Judging by how the cloth was pierced, she must have been stabbed by something, some sharp object. All your coins would fall out of the holes, sir. Detective, haven't you ever heard of a wallet? Of course I have, sir. I just use my pockets, though. Most people do, right? Never mind. Something seems to be pinned to her jacket. It's made out of purple cloth. It looks like it's been forcibly torn off, doesn't it? It's obviously related to the corsage, but now I have a question because women wear corsages on their wrists, men wear boutonnieres on their chests, but it's a woman wearing it on the chest. So is it a boutonniere or is it a corsage? Now I'm really curious. I kind of want to look that up. Boutonniere. You know, we don't have time for this. Someone else can look that up for me, or I can try to remember to look it up after. But can we deduce it with right now? Oh, yes, we can. Yes, it is. It's related to the corsage. Eureka! The purple flower Kay had with her. I wonder if that originally belonged to the victim. Now that you mention it, the cloth does look the same as the one on the pin. Let's compare them without delay. She must be the person with was it Jill? On the note that was for Kay. It had Jill or something like that written on it. Let's compare them without delay. It's a perfect match, sir. Way to go, Mr. E. The fact that this flower belongs to the victim means... that can only mean that Kay Faraday came in contact with the victim. And about that corsage, it looks like it was forcibly ripped off. There is a possibility that Kay Faraday is connected to this case, and depending on the situation, we may have to consider her as a suspect. What did you say? There's no way she did it. It's unthinkable. Kay would never do that, sir. However, it's true that we have no evidence to deny that claim. It's nothing more than a possibility at the moment, isn't that right, Miles? Indeed, for better or for worse. And here. There's a burn mark on her hand. Is it connected to the cause of death? No, it appears to be an old scar. She's probably got it a long time ago. It seems there's something in her hand. Detective, could you open her hand for me? Yes, sir, understood. This is... oh, I know. This must be a gift card from a department store. It seems to be a key card. Why? The question is, what was this key card for? Ba-bam-bam. What's the other piece of logic we have? Oh yeah, there it is. Boom, done. Perhaps the key card the victim was holding is for this room. I'll go find out, sir. Mr. Edgeworth, from this room's security system, we were able to retrieve the data of the victim's card. So that means the victim was able to freely enter this room. If the card actually belonged to the victim, of course. Yes, of course. Okay. Well, we've finished up with the body examination, so why don't we go ahead and end this video here. So stay tuned next Monday for the next video, and thanks for watching. Hope you all have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye!